Hello YouTube, this is Slovenian Sonic HD, and today we are gonna have a little bit of a different video than we have usually. Today we're gonna compare F1 versus Indycar versus Champcar. I did it with a few different cars, so you can see the actual comparison. So here for the first car, we've got the 1988 McLaren. Yeah, right, and the setups for all of the cars are the same. So around here, around Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the setup is speed. It's the speed to the maximum. So yeah. But here the McLaren, it went around without problem. You can have the gas flat out for the whole lap, and it did quite nicely, except it was slow in the straight line. So the second car is the F1 2007 BMW. That is the one, the classic that comes with R Factor, and yeah, it's a really nice car, and it went around really fast, and I think it was the fastest car with of the few that I tried, and I liked it. You could go flat out through all of the corners and reach maximum speed. Again, the setups for all of the cars were the same around Indianapolis, and yeah. So yeah, this is around Indianapolis, and then after we finish Indianapolis, we're gonna go to Spa to check out the other side, the other lap time. So, and here we are going through the Champ car from 2007. This is Bourdais' Champ car that won him the championship. Yeah, it was also, you could go flat out around all the corners around Indianapolis, all four of them. And yeah, it was a really nice car to drive. It is a bit, yeah, it is really, it doesn't want to go straight. Yeah, it always needs a little, you need to adjust it a little bit. But yeah, nice car. It was fast, it went around, same setup, and yeah, that was good. And this from 2007, yeah, that's it for this car. So here we are with the Indycar from 2009, the thing that actually raced here. And this was the only car that I needed to lift for corners. And the interesting thing that I noticed was with the Champ car and the Indycar, if you touched below that white line, you instantaneously went into a spin, and if you did that with the F1 cars, it didn't do it. So massive difference there. But yeah, this is, yeah, it was fast in a straight line, but around the corners you had to lift, and it felt really weird around here. I don't know. So yeah, and here we go across the line. And for our last car, we have the 2009 Braun. Yeah, it's basically the same as the F2007 BMW, except it didn't go as fast in the straight line. So yeah, and yeah, they're all in R Factor. We're doing this in R Factor, the same tracks and the same setups, and yeah, just different mods. So that 1988 car was Formula Armanoli, the Champ car was a Champ car mod, the IndyCar was an IndyCar mod, and this is the F1 2009 mod that I downloaded off R Factor Central, so you can go download them if you want and try this for yourself. And here's the comparison. The 2007 car, not surprisingly, was on top. Then the Champ car was nearly a second behind. The IndyCar was actually quite close considering how it felt. The 2009 car was just half a second off, and the 88 car was, yeah, it doesn't have the straight line speed, so it wasn't close enough. But it is the only, this and the Champ car and the IndyCar were the turbocharged cars, so interesting comparison. And now it's time for lap rounds. Spa, starting with the 88 Formula Manoli. Just a little thing about the testing, I just did a few laps, and then this setup is basic, just whatever it gives you from the start, and yeah. This car felt quite nice to drive, except it's really noticeable that this is from 1988, not with the grip but with the brakes and the acceleration. Yeah, the brakes, yeah, because they're from 1988, they don't grip, they start, they're much weaker than the modern brakes, so it really is, we have to brake quite a lot earlier than with the rest of the cars. But yeah, this was fun. This car is quite nice to drive around Spa. It won here in the hands of Ayrton Senna, the legend, and yeah, it was quite nice to drive around here, even though it was the slowest one, sadly. But yeah, this a nice car, nice to drive. The only thing is that you have to brake early. The grip was enough for what that car could do around the corners, so I was quite pleased with it. So yeah, that's pretty much it about this car, and so enjoy the rest of my lap. And I'm gonna comment around it a bit. You could go flat through Eau Rouge, that's a big point. Yeah, and you can go flat through Blanchimont. Yeah, this is basically what everything that had to be said. So was not the only car that was above the 2 minute mark. So you're gonna see we've got another comparison chart table that will show us the comparison of lap times. Yeah, going through the bus stop and just accelerating to the line, and that's it for this lap. So now we move on to the 2007 BMW, and there you go. This car was, yeah, it was really fun to drive around this track. It had a lot of grip. It was, yeah, it was the best all around, even though it doesn't have slicks. And yeah, again, the setup is basic, whatever it gives you from the start, so we're trying to make it as fair as we can. So yeah, here we go, the 2007 car. It was nice round. You could go flat through Eau Rouge, which is really nice. So yeah, I just like this car. It had tons of grip, yeah, as you can probably see, and it was so easy to drive around Spa. If you are in, you could just do it so easily. It was a brilliant car, and I loved it, and no wonder it was the fastest one. Yeah. Yeah, really. Yeah, and the acceleration of these cars is just amazing. Even though it's not turbocharged, it just flies. I mean, really just goes. Yeah, I'm using a lot of assists, so please don't blame me. It's just the best lap time that I could do with these cars in a short period of time, of a few laps. So yeah, this car did reach a sub 2 minute lap, but the rest you're gonna see in the comparison table. Yeah, and the thing with these brakes is that you can just brake so late. This is the car that just makes you wanna brake so late, and it still easily goes through the corner without any skidding or drifting or anything. So now we move on to the 2007 Champcar, which was driven by Sebastian Bourdais, who later went into Formula 1. Even though he wasn't the most successful guy in F1, he was really successful in Champcar, 4 titles. This was the last Champcar championship winning car, and yeah, I can easily see why Bourdais why he got the title by a long shot that year, because this car really is so fun to drive. It is quite stable, not as stable as the BMW, but it is stable. And when the turbo kicks in, this thing goes off like a rocket, and just is, yeah, this is amazing. I love it. And the thing why I decided to make this video is because I saw quite a few threads going about which would be the fastest and that kind of stuff around yeah, it was just Formula 1 versus Indycar, but I decided to throw in Champcar since it died off quite a long time ago, and it is I couldn't find a 2007 IndyCar mod that works, so I decided to get this instead, which is a good substitute. And yeah, now going back to the car, the brakes are a bit worse than the BMWs, but they're still really good. You can't brake as early, but you have to brake 10 or 20 meters earlier, and it's quite nice having the slicks. And yeah, I have no problem seeing why would they want the championship in this. I'm saying again, why? How? I'm confused, but yeah, I have no problem seeing how he won the championship. It's really fun to drive and fast. Now going back to the IndyCar. Yeah, this thing really lacks a lot of downforce. Cause like and acceleration at that. Cause it has a lot of straight line speed, but the acceleration and downforce and even the brakes, everything is quite a lot worse than the others. Yeah, this was the only car that couldn't go flat through a roof. I think, yeah, it's hard to tell from the mod, but this was the only car that couldn't go flat through a roof. It really is noticeable, the lack of grip and the worse brakes. Yeah, I can see, yeah, this thing is about as fast as the 1988 McLaren and about as safe, because the major aerodynamic and structural changes, nothing happened to them for quite a long time with the IndyCar, these cars, and yeah, and which is quite evident that it's about as safe as the 1988 McLaren, because Weldon died in one of these, then in 2011. Yeah, the only thing that changed was they made the engine weaker, so yeah. Luckily nobody died in the 1988 cars in a 1988 season, but you know that the car wasn't really that strong against impacts, and the drivers were quite lucky, and that yeah, luckily in Formula 1 there isn't a lot of those big shunts that happen at high speed. And yeah, the drivers are lucky, and we applaud them for that. And for now, for the evolving, we thank the FIA for evolving the cars into these safe cars that they are now. But yeah, here we go. This is a lap that's slower than 2 minutes. So yeah, and for the final lap, we're gonna go with the the 2009 Formula 1 Braun. And yeah, this was a really nice car to drive. Again, as the cars that I liked. It doesn't have as much grip as the 2007 Formula 1 car. It's got about the same grip as the Champcar, if not more. You could go flat through the Rouge, and yeah, that is all. This car was, yeah, I don't have the problem seeing why Jensen won the championship in this car. I didn't try the Red Bull, but I just decided to take this, which was the championship winning car. Yeah. Sorry for the background noise. I think you can hear some background noise. Sorry about that. Something went wrong while recording. Yeah, so my scap core could be heard for some reason. Just concentrate on the engine sound and it'll be good. The only thing that I've got a problem with this mod is that the engine just doesn't sound as lively as it should. Yeah, the car is down on power on probably all of the other cars. This is the weakest one looking at it now, but it's still got a lot of grip, and the engine is super fast to rev, and yeah, it's got slicks, so it's a good car. The last of the refueling era in Formula 1. Yeah, it's really safe, and that's Really nice. So this is it for the, and here's the lap time comparison. As you can see, the Formula One cars, two Formula One cars are on top again, and then that's the Champ car, which isn't as far off as you might have thought. The Indycar is, yeah, it really, that thing really needs to be. Luckily, it was discarded and they stopped using it in the new cars. And yeah, but yeah, guys, this has been it. This is, I've been the Streaming Sonic HD. You'll get another video when I get 2014 mods, and I'm signing out. Peace.